answer them. Oh, he's talking to you.
There you go.
Bastard.
For the Autobot cringe!
Good.
There we go. Tried way too hard to make that work.
Celebrity appearance. Are we live?
Yes.
AHM1K, but a celebrity appearance. He's gone. The host is gone.
He ran off with the Unishades, though.
How are we gonna go back to the future, Doc?
Now I have to put on other shades that'll make it even harder to read.
What's up, everyone? Roll call. Kachowski, Will Paxson,
Yeah.
Ryan Pasomas,
Alex
Oh,
K9, Space Bridge Studio, Axel.
King Ganon. Any relation to
hell
Ganon
yeah.
from Zelda? Don't make me get my Master Sword out. Honestly, you don't want me to slap my Master Sword on the table. King Ganon, Space Bridge Studio. Alex K9. Oh, you did, Alex, didn't you? There you go, Alex K9. You've had 2 shout-outs.
John... Oh, shit, I cannot read in this glasses.
Drake
John
Scuffalo
Ferriera.
Studio.
Scruffalo.
Hey, I know Jay. I know him from Discord. He's a Discord person.
Yes.
Yep.
Speaking of which, if you're not in the Discord, you should join the Discord, and then you'll be a Discord person.
You will join the Discord immediately or suffer the consequences.
You will
Spooky
see
theme.
many anime gifs that I post in there in Kyle's Discord.
You are the king of anime, GIF. You actually know, like, each and every show that you take a GIF from. Whenever you see a GIF, you know where that comes from, and you know the timestamp also, don't you?
Pretty much. And if I don't know it, then I love to find out what it was.
If you get this reference, then say so in the chat. Bad Ram. Happy Halloween, everyone.
Yes. Happy Halloween, because this is probably the last... Actually, it's probably the last stream I'm doing all year. I don't feel like streaming anymore.
But it's
But
so much fun.
I streamed once. It was awful. No, it was okay. I enjoyed it. I had a great time, but it made me very nervous. So it's much easier appearing on someone else's stream, on someone else's channel.
Oh, yeah.
It's so much fun. We don't even have to introduce ourselves.
You can
We're just
introduce
random
yourself,
people.
though.
I think I mentioned your name already, Kyle, but why don't you tell them again?
I am Kyle, AHM1K. Unsubscribe from my channel if you have any decency.
And if you want to fill the gap with more stop motion, you can come to my channel. I'm Ultra Marcus, and I've been roped into this because I felt sorry for Kyle.
It's true.
And if you also want stop motion, you can come to Crimson Raptors channel as well. Just youtube.com/Crimson Raptors, where there's been no stop motion for about a year.
But you're building up to something big. You are
Indeed.
building up.
That's what she said, but yes, indeed.
That is what she said.
Rise shall rise to the occasion. Oh, I've still got the Zarek on. There you go. Tone.
Seems appropriate since he's a headmaster.
Ooh, head.
Uh,
What was that?
what?
What a lovely sounding voice you have today, Kyle.
My voice is always lovely.
So what's on the itinerary?
What's on the itinerary is, whoops. I always close Discord. I cannot close Discord.
If you close Discord, we will terminate the thing. I am budget Soundwave, available for very cheap price.
If you close Discord, then I'm gonna have to get Inferno. He's gotta be around here somewhere. Inferno, where are you?
Yeah, every time I'm closing Discord, the whole, all the cameras freeze and everything just kind of stops. It's the
But
ghost
don't
of
do
screen
that.
share. Yeah, as titled, or per the title of the live stream, this is the greatest the greatest bad fan fiction ever read. And so, yeah.
Greatest, it's the worst fan fiction ever. And it's read worse than anyone has ever read fan fiction before. So it's like a double whammy of terribleness.
I don't like the word the greatest bad. It's gotta be the greatest worst.
Greatest worst. That'll do.
Yeah. Anyways, I need to switch it out. I gotta be the narrator again.
Don't forget to check out Kyle's latest stop motion, a Transformers Afterlife, in which I play Tan.
This is true. Be sure to check it out. It's a good video, but it's definitely made better by also artists.
I can't believe we got Morgan Freeman on the stream.
No, this is just the natural voice. Without the wig, Morgan Freeman.
It's still wigging me out, man.
It's very good. It's a brilliant Morgan Freeman. It sounds like that to me, anyway.
It definitely is. I really did do need to start, though. I just need to talk about AHM1K.
Oh, King Ganon knows where it's at. Tan. That's right. Tan. Where's the finger?
Come to me, my pretties. The sparks will soon be mine.
You know, before we started streaming, I'd forgotten. I was like, where is that phrase from? Come to me, my pretties. And I was like, oh yeah, Wizard of Oz.
Someone got it.
Someone, yes. You have been scouring the internet for the very worst fan fiction ever, and you believe you found it.
If it's not the worst, it's definitely bad. That's good. And then,
It's up there. It's up there.
it's up there. These two have had the delightful, the unfortunate experience of getting just a little savor with it. And, by God, the reactions from just like the paragraphs, it's solid stuff.
It's so bad we attempted to read it before we came on live, but we couldn't get through it. So hopefully we do get through it, or some of it.
Hashtag true story.
Yes.
So,
Like this story we're about to read. True story.
So the plan, I guess, it just is real simple. We're just gonna take turns reading portions of it. Probably with changing voices. Definitely with changing voices. And, I guess trying not to stab a stage of everything your eye while reading it.
Do you want to, should we start, or, do you think more people might turn up?
Well, if we want to take a minute to get situated, we kind of started talking about what we were going to do, but we didn't actually sort out what we were trying to do.
We're totally prepared for this. Absolutely, right?
Obviously. It's the Halloween stream. It's a horror show.
Yes, it's a horror show on so many levels. Excuse me. I'm just gonna cough. Oh, no, I pressed the wrong button. There you go.
I still need to get good at. I'm terrible at that. I can't use the button for the life of me.
It's the timing of it is a funny thing. It can be quite difficult. I gotta say that voice effect that you've got on, Kyle, it sounds so weird when you laugh.
Perfect.
Happy Halloween, one and all!
So, does anyone want to start reading this?
You're the host. I thought you would go. I thought you would go first, dear boy, and we'd chime in.
Very well. How much do we want to read before we start switching out?
Paragraph? Can we do a paragraph each?
Okay, some of them are kind of short, so we can go kind of short movies do it. couple. At least in this first chapter.
What's the story called? Does it have a title?
Oh, yes. The title is The Killing Soul, a DJD Transformers action romance fan fiction.
I'm sorry, did you say romance? Ooh.
Yes, the Transformers action romance. Don't forget the action.
Killing Song by DJD.
It's thankful that you get the action romance. It's not just romance. And it's not just action.
Romance. There's action in this romance. Well, that could mean anything. That has dual meaning. I like a bit of action in my romance.
It's that kind of action. Let's go with that. I just can't imagine there's any sort of Transformers romance fanfiction that actually has action. Somebody told me it's there's one meaning of action that's definitely here. Daryl. But yeah. So yeah, I'll go first. Who wants to follow me?
Go for it.
I shall follow you. Shall I go second? Shall I do the second paragraph?
Sure.
Sounds right.
And then you take the third.
That's where my thoughts were going. Crimson could do the third. And then we'll loop back around.
Sounds fair.
These are behind the scenes conversations. Sorry, chat. We should have had.
Yeah. Every time we started to have this conversation, we started playing with voice of the game.
Then we forget that we're live.
Exactly. I don't know, chat. Are you ready to get enlightened?
You ready for this, chat? Are you really ready for this?
Because this is
Kyle shall begin.
There's no going back.
All right. Chapter 1. Chapter 1. The boss. I need my glasses. I can't read this. And they broke. Oh, they broke.
Oh,
Awesome.
what?
Broke it?
My glasses just broke. Shit. All right, I'm reading blind. That's cool. I can do this. Chapter 1. The bar. Oh. I'm gonna screw up a lot now. I could be sorry, but I don't give a damn. There's something so majestic about the distraught on their faces as they watched me and Chambex exchange our first kisses before them. It wasn't necessarily an exchange, per se. I was doing most of the smooching and pecking, and Chambex had frozen up with her own horror, but I wouldn't call it horror. I'm a bad dude, yeah. But it was more like surprise. Yes, surprise. That's the right word.
I had been admiring this new addition to our team ever since she stepped foot into the base, and the purplish bar lights just made her appear so much more attractive. Wonder if those lights do the same thing to me.
Energon dribbled from Helix's agape mouth as he stared at us. Poor bloke was midway through his sip when I suddenly forced my lips against Chambix's. It was consumed by wonder and fear, and only Primus knows what else. I know all 5 of us are lonely as hell, and if someone so damn romantically unwantable as me could win someone over, then any of us could.
Voss hadn't brought anything to drink. Says shit like it isn't healthy. Wonder where he gets his energon from. His optics just bugged out of his head as he gawked, and Kaon was in a similar position. The only thing that I don't know where his eyes are. Well, the only thing is that I don't know where his eyes are. So these twin black pits were just locked onto me. Kesserison's innate boredom had actually come in handy in this situation. He was thrown out at first, but now he was the only member of the DJD that had returned to his drink, happily sipping away.
Jambex suddenly punched my chest, and I swooned backwards. Still taken aback by the wondrous rush of joy. She was pissed. Oh, sorry. She was and I knew it. I could see it in her yellowish eyes and tightened mouth. And I was prepared for a verbal smackdown. Her words were locked up in her throat. That's not all. And she realized, and she released a few unusual sounds before her furry... What? Before her fury released into the world. I'm sorry. She released a few unusual sounds before her fury was released into the world.
How dare you, Tarn? You are, all of you, are unlovable and disgusting. You kill mercilessly. I am not here to become one of you. The Allspark sent me to neutralize you. Tarn, I am not here to love you. I am here to kill you.
That's rude. Shambeck darted out of the building into the rainy, humid night, and as the door slammed loudly behind her, I quietly returned to my energon. My comrades did as well, and I was so happy they didn't see the tears slide down my faceted face. She had never told me that little detail of her life, and even though it is despicable, I think she actually did it. I felt something slip out of my spark, and when I made contact with her mouth, my soul did a little jump, and I think it is spinning into the opposite direction now. I am no longer consumed by rage and deviousness. Now, I just want love.
That's the end of chapter 1.
I pulled out a chair at the table, and I never knew I could be so bored. I desired to watch Thesaurus and Helix play their spitting game. It was Helix's turn to be the laughter victim. He took a few sips from the glass of oil, his already fat cheeks puffing up. He set the cup down and weaved his hands together, telling Thesaurus, am I getting that right? He was ready to play. His round ended quickly after Thesaurus muttered something provocative into his audio receptor, and Helix let out a whimper and tightened his lips. He couldn't hold his masculine giggles, and a jet of oil spewed from his mouth as he coughed and snorted.
There's a lot of things that are tightened in here. I think it's Tesserus, I think is how
Tesserus.
Yeah, like Tesseract, but Tesserus.
I just can't get enough masculine giggles.
Yeah, masculine giggles.
Okay, we broke character. Okay. We had encountered a dry spell with our hunts, and Kaon was on the upper levels of the peaceful tyranny. He was going down the list and attempting to find our next target on, I don't know what this word is, Masatine. Tesserus was practically, now I think it's wrong. Tesserus was practically dying from lethargy, so Helix invented the spitting game to bring some entertainment back into our lives. It was humorous when oil shot out of someone's nose. I don't play because I never reveal my face. I do enjoy being an audience member.
I never reveal my face. That's you. It's so great that you got that.
I am Tarn. For the street.
That's right. Shamdex was going to arrive that day, but none of us were aware she was actively hunting us down. In about 3 1/4 cycles, she would be at our base's doorstep. We refer to the ship as a base when it's parked on the ground and not flight. Felix wiped the brownish stream of oil from his chin, Oh, hey, Tarn. Bored too.
Unfortunately. Wanna play? No thanks. I'll just watch. Ezra's filled his mouth with oil and awaited Helix's jokes. Helix ignored him for a bit. Tom, I never asked. What were you before the war? Helix inquired. I don't like to... Hang on, I've got a voice for Tom.
I don't like to tell people about my devious past, but these men are part of my loyal team. I was a scholar and a slut. Lazarus made a strange croaking noise before spitting out his oil back into the cup, trying not to soil the table like Helix. A slut! Okay. Let's make one thing clear. Cybertronians don't have intercourse like organic species. Okay, have you got that? Have you got that, chat? So, sleeping with someone just refers to the closest thing we can get to sex. Sparking. What? Sparking? Is that what they call it? We can also touch sparks, but that shit can kill people because it's so darn powerful. Sparking just refers to when Cybertronians are kissing and cuddling for such a long time that it sends a pleasurable and strong jolt through the backstrut. And our sexualities just refer to who we prefer to spark with. Someone else.
Interesting. After I became a scholar, I wanted to know who my type was. Didn't have much time to learn while I was preparing for examinations. Did you ever find out? Helix lifted himself from his chair and fetched a small container of energon slices, and he gingerly snapped one with his bulky teeth, chewing slowly. No, all I learned is I enjoy the femme types. I don't really know who I like. Never really been interested. Tesserus pushed his oil glass away, slightly disgusted by the fact that it was mixed with his own saliva. Same here, Helix replied, getting started on another chip. Does sparking feel good? Hurts like hurts like shit the first time. Then yeah, it's nice, I replied. That was somewhat of a lie. First time I sparked with someone, it was a one-night stand, and I found out that I really enjoyed long-term relationships better. We had there's a little bit of morality in here. We had met at an Energon bar, and we got to talking about some stupid things. I don't remember what, but she was so smart. I could hear it in the way that she pronounced words and phrased her eloquent sentences. It was like she was singing. She could speak in poetry. And as a scholar and a music lover, that was the sexiest thing I'd ever seen.
I have kissed countless others before, and we made out behind bars and behind bars and in alleyways. The first person I swapped spit with was burly, masculine Cybertronian, but I found out one thing quickly. I don't like to fight while I kiss people. I am more of the dominate type, obviously, and masculine Cybertronians typically are harsh kissers back. It's a wonderful experience, don't get me wrong. But I noticed that when I started kissing feminine people, especially fembots, it became oh so magical. It was slow like a dance, but it had the power of war. And it escalates into my kind of smooching. Rough. Some of the ladies didn't like it, so I stopped, but the majority thought it was very pleasurable.
Me and her were both shy, and I have a thing about people touching me. Don't like it if I don't see it coming. She tried to slip her hand over mine while we were still in the heat of a soft debate, and I hastily pulled my fingers away. She grinned slightly before she clasped her hands in my dainty lap. I felt like such an asshole. But I forgot her name. It was an unusual name. I mean, mine was as well.
I used to be Damas. She probably doesn't remember my name either. I didn't really want to hold hands anyways, she happily muttered. Sorry, it's just contact makes me feel weird sometimes.
Sorry. That's ridiculous. This is so funny. I've lost my shyness, and now I'm ever more than happy to invade someone's space to deliver a fabulous death punch. I've knocked off a few Decepticon traders' heads. I do kind of regret who I have become, but I make damn sure no one. Wait, what? But I make damn sure no one discovers that heart-wrenching fact. That's a typo. I used to be that guy who can be mean. Now I am that guy who is mean. Anyways, we had become quite fond of each other, and she invited me back to her apartment to show me her collection of planetary maps. She was an she was an avid
Come back to my
What?
Hey babe, come back to my apartment and look at my collection of planetary maps.
You want to see the constellations in my bed? Oh. Hold on just a second. Okay. Where am I at? She was an avid explorer, and she had a plethora of guidebooks and patterned atlases. Okay, yeah. It was incredibly impressive. Before I knew it, I was pinned down on a metal couch when she placed messy kisses on my neck, and I moaned softly. Oh, I felt her smile a couple of times at my peculiar sounds, and I was honestly surprised she could convince me to spark with her. I was timid, but she had slowly coaxed me into the romantic situation. It started with a It started with a gently taking my hand into her own, and when I started to get antsy, she would coo something sweet and reassuring. Coo. But she made sure I was consenting, and I was. Yep, see, morality in here. I wanted to be intimate with her, but my own mind was fighting against it. Then, hand-holding turned to hugs and cuddles when she showed me different geographical charts. Oh, the topography. And when I felt her hot breaths on my throat, I knew everything was over. It was like that song I heard that one time. And then somebody has to do a song voice.
What the hell?
Oh, okay, I got this.
What did I walk into?
I would have stayed at home, 'cause I was doing better alone. But when you said hello, I knew that was the end of it all.
Woo!
Oh, hello, Rex.
Hello there.
We are live, Rex.
Rex, break my heart. Is that what it is called? Human music fascinates me. Well, she shattered my heart. I didn't realize she was planning for this to be a one-time thing. I thought it was the start of something amazing and lovely. But after we woke up the next morning, she asked why I was still there. Of course. Of course I was still there. I like you.
Ruthless. No.
Apparently, she thought I was a kind Cybertronian, but she was just seeking some pleasure. She thought I was a kind Cybertronian, but she was just seeking some pleasure. She was lonely and wanted to give affection to someone. Anyone. I offered to be her lover. She said she wasn't sure if she was ready for commitment. I was beyond belief. I gave my first sparking to her. And then she threw me out. As I stood in the hallway, I rubbed my back. Back. Still feeling the effects of the nerve jolt I had received a couple of hours prior. We had sparked. We had sparked simultaneously. That's an art form, by the way. But as she smiled with happiness, I shrieked in terror and agony. When someone sparks for the first time, it opens a ton of new nerve passageways, so it feels like you're being burned at the stake and hung at the same time. She comforted me as I whimpered and bawled my little eyes out, whispering that the pain would soon be gone.
Whoa.
But that was the extent of my sluttiness. I stopped kissing strangers and seeking love because I'd already found her.
Oh.
I wanted her back so bad, and she was my first and only sparking. I haven't felt a good sparking yet. That is what I bluffed to Helix about. Helix and Tezros continued their grotesque laughing game, and I watched while nibbling on some of the chips Helix had delivered to the table. I was able to slip them into my mouth under my mask. Oh yeah, because I'm Tom. That's right. Over to you, Kyle.
Oh, a few hours of boredom. I was right. Yeah. Few hours of boredom. Kaon finally came downstairs with his report. There was a nobody Decepticon nearby that needed to be eradicated for a quite ludicrous reason. He was just too stupid. We got up from our seats and began our takeoff duties. Kaon would make sure defense shields and weaponry were active, and Helix and Tezros were in charge of carrying the parades. Boss was the shift runner. He would dart through the hallways checking to see if any intruders had snuck aboard while we were inactive. I was the outside shift layer. Gotta make sure there's no one hiding under the wings ready to watching the engines. The ramp hissed open, and I slanted my furious red eyes as the sunlight sliced into the darkness of the tyranny. I wiped the warmth of the sunlight that we murderers shed like the cold. I like killing, don't get me wrong, but I do have no such thoughts. As the ramp opened all the way, and my pupils adjusted to the outside, I finally remembered her name, Chambex, and she was standing outside my ship. Chapter 3.
Note.
Well, damn.
Touching sparks is when two Cybertronians open their chest cavities to let their sparks make contact. More you know. In Chapter 2.
Yeah. Chapter 3. Well, damn it.
Where are we? Are we at
This
order?
was an Oh, sorry, that's too much. This was an interesting predicament that I had found myself in. I froze up as I stared down at my first lover, and she returned my blank gawk. At first, I figured that she recognized me. That was impossible. I am physically and mentally nowhere close to the person I used to be. Damas was a one-eyed desperate bastard. With a broken heart. And here I am now, a big, violet brute with an appetite for destruction. Oh, there's another good human song.
Oh, you gotta do the song voice. Somebody.
I felt my rage erupting, feed my appetite for destruction, blood rushing. I love when you feed my appetite for destruction.
I love my work in the Decepticon Justice Division. Ugh, music really does rip me away from my thoughts, doesn't it? Anyways, that's not the right word. Anyway, I was completely reconstructed by the Decepticons when I joined their mighty ranks, so there was nothing that connected me to my former life. I was given a modern face underneath my mask, and so I got a better mouth for kissing. I had a mouth before that I could reveal, but it was nothing like what I have now. Chambix scooted a bit towards me on her wheels, and my pulse gun viciously awoke and pointed itself toward the potential intruder.
Oh, yeah,
she obviously wasn't looking for Damas, so why was she at the DJD ship? Mesatine. Why am I having a hard time with that word? Mesatine is our territory, and people from both sides of the war evade the sector because their lives literally depend on it. Somebody got to do that female voice, if you remember.
Got it. Copy.
Where are we? I lost my place.
Oh, you
Chapter
are
3.
You
You
are
are
Tars,
Tars.
she asked. Yes, I grumbled. I am Chanvex. I almost admitted that I was aware of her designation, but that would confuse her. She would think she was on the list. And even though she gave me extreme heartbreak many eons ago, she doesn't deserve to be shredded or melted to death. I let my weapon surrender and casually ambled down the ramp. I halted before her and my massive shoulders rotated backwards as I stared down at the lit female before me. I do have some insecurity with my shoulders. They are too big and make it troublesome to maneuver through tight areas. Sorry for the sudden appearance, Chambex continued. She
She
seemed
seemed
frightened.
frightened of.
Oh my god, that first line.
She seemed frightened of my incredible girth and size. She cowered slightly. It was such a small movement that an unexpected hunter wouldn't notice. What? It was such a small movement that an unexperienced hunter wouldn't notice. It was something I've seen victims do countless times. They don't want to appear fearful, but their automatic nerves slightly jerk downwards. I have been tracking the DJD for quite some time now, Chambex. Chambex straightened back up and crossed her streamlined arms behind her back. I am requesting to join your hunting party. Vox's ship scan made its way over to our location. And when he spotted me standing off with the newcomer, he screamed something unknown into the belly of the ship. We have picked up some of his primal vernacular along the way, and I believe he shouted something along the lines of, "New person with Tarn." In a matter of seconds, everyone had rushed over and gathered at the top of the ramp. I just want to point out that the grammar and the stuff is not very good in this, everyone. That's why we're stumbling a little bit.
Yeah, we're starting to see a lot more typos as we're going through
Yes.
here. So, who's that? Aeon asked, and I could hear the clicking of his back coils as he produced pulsing waves, trying to see Chambix via his echolocation. The pet scrambled out of the shadows of the hallways behind the group, and Kaon smiled gleefully before petting the turbo fox. Her name is Chambix. She's joining us, I replied, and I turned my head to see how my men would respond. Like I expected, Kaon was the first to retaliate. Arrogant bastard. Who is she? Kaon inquired, and he gingerly strutted down to her. He placed his clunky hands on her rectangular hips. Oh my god, what? And he leaned into Champix's face. She closed her helmet, activating her war face armor, and she pushed her head towards him. She mocked Kaon. Now I really wanted her bad.
Helmet.
I'll read these little ones here. She is a DJ. Oh no. She is a DJD member now. I pushed Kaon away from Chambix, and he slightly stumbled back. Esserus was the next to argue. But she could be an Autobot spy, he called down. And do a landscape sweep. We got the equipment for it. Check for other life forms. There isn't anyone. I did that scan earlier. It is only us in the list Decepticon. She must have just arrived, Kaon spat. See? There isn't anyone waiting to attack. There are ground bridges, Kaon. When I make a decision, you shut the fuck up, I snapped.
It didn't cover what you said, though. Sorry. But you get the point.
We're on the midnight radio.
Brax, do you want to get the next one, or do you want to get in on this, or are you just good listening?
I'm good listening in.
All right. Just want to check.
I'm not reading these.
Just want to check, and you'll be feel like you're being roughed out with the best worst fan fiction ever.
Yeah, there'll be a test on this at the end, everyone.
Yes.
Is it you, Kyle, or me?
Biffy. The voice is very good. Yeah, using my natural voice, got it. My muscular hand lashed out without warning, seizing his slender face, and he shrieked in terror as I lifted him hastily off the ground. He started to tremble and desperately claw at my arm. This was a handy trick I had learned quite some time ago. It was the ultimate punishment for KO that wouldn't kill him. His narrow neck is just strong enough to carry the weight of his slim body and dense testicles. And when I hold him by the head, it puts an incredible strain on his back strap. He wouldn't dare to shock me.
Sir, I'm sorry. Please put me down, Kaon squawked as his hands flapped around and his lanky feet churned through the air. The pet bounced down to his rescue. But I had brutally kicked it before when Kaon was put in this situation. Now, all it could do was softly growl at me and prowl about. You said Go on, Kyle. Sorry.
No. As you said your apologies last time, I howled, bringing Kaon higher above my head. We are staying here until you get through your filthy brain that I lead. I make the last decision. Do you understand, you wretch?
Yes! But what is special about Chainbex?
Special or not, she is joining us. Name the last time someone randomly, willingly sacrificed their existence to our cause. Name it, Kaon. Never! Exactly. We need to enforce the word of our Lord, Megatron. Actually, it doesn't say Megatron there, but I'm just saying. And with another member, we can conquer more, spread more justice. Something very aggressive and dark clouded in my pulsating spark. And that's what she said. And I set Kaon on the ground before pulling him into an embrace. It was still shaking, but he cautiously slipped his arms around my thick waist. What is happening here?
It's obviously a hug.
Yeah, something. And I'll be saving these until you... Wait. And I'll be saving these until you accepting Chambix as our own. I don't understand. That's a weird sentence. I muttered wickedly into his audio receptor before snapping his silvery coils? Yeah, so his silvery coils off my back. He wailed in misery as the pain hit his brain module and he began to hyperventilate. God, I can see. I need those to see. He whisked his hands through the air, trying to pinpoint where everyone was. Kaon patted the turbo fox and lowered himself to the ground, pulling his animal comrade to his heaving chest. Sounds like your issue, Kaon, I hissed. Come, Chambix. End chapter 3.
Ooh. Chapter 4.
Chapter 4.
Wait, we all gotta say it together.
Chipmunk voice?
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Chapter 4.
Worst coordination ever.
I guess we won't know. Yes. Only the people watching will know if we were coordinated or not.
Yeah, that's true. I know. Yeah.
I like
that shit, boys. This is good stuff.
Jeez.
Chapter 4, why can't I just dance?
You, Kyle?
Kyle?
Oh, yeah.
Before Kyle. Now you gotta do the beep.
My beep?
Yeah, there you go.
Is that coming through on my...
It is coming through.
Shit, motherfucking bitch, fuck.
Okay.
You.
Fuck it. I want that button now. I'm gonna get good at it. My hands sliced slowly through the silent air of the tyranny, and I was alone in the empty meeting room of the first level. It had a high, concave ceiling, allowing for my solemn hums to bounce back to me. My sing-song purrs transformed into murmurs of the lyrics of a song I was spontaneously inventing. After each kill, I saved time for myself to dance and cantillate for hours on end.
I shut my eyes as I removed my mask, and I relished in the feeling of fresh, chilled air upon my bare face upon my bare face. After I set my decorative veil on the ground, I spun into the center of the gigantic room, a glorious flurry of song rampaging through my mouth.
The Nimrod we had taken down wasn't exactly as clueless as we expected him to be. Our appearance threw him into an incredible mania, and he chaotically dashed away. The pursuit lasted for hours. I have never seen such endurance like that before. No one in my team can fly or even have or even has a speedy alternate mode, so the chase was completely on foot. The victim was either a monoformer or had a useless transformation because he never bothered attempting to fly or drive away, like Earthrise RC. Or maybe he was just that stupid.
The race was stressful, and our aggressive pack stampeded after him as he screamed and shouted and cried. Eventually, after countless miles of travel, the pack pulled ahead and finally took him down, ripping his head grotesquely from his body. His spine convulsed a couple more times like a strange worm before his adrenaline finally subsided. He caught up to the blood gout, and the Turbo Fox pranced up to kill with the Decepticon's backstrap clamped in its slobbery jaws. That's just like Hank, actually. It was a non-traditional DJD kill, but we did make the death last much longer than it needed to. But then again, the Decepticon knew he wasn't going to escape. He should have given up when he was gifted the wonderful chance to.
I performed an elegant grand jeté, but the maneuver was still unfamiliar to me. I stumbled as my feet smacked against the ground, but I managed to steady myself before I dramatically face-planted. My post-murder performances are so my mind can clear itself, making a blank slate for the next execution. I adore killing because of the predatory rush, but I can only handle one death. So, I have no idea how many I have seen perish at the hands of my soldiers. I can only remember this one, as soon as he would be lost as well. I grumbled some exotic, melodic gibberish as my train of lyrical thought halted for a split second. But then, some more phrases came to me. I call it the killing song. I make up more of it as I dance away.
Karn. My body contorted back into its muscular, warlike form as someone uttered my designation, and I kept my head turned away from the source of the sound. My face still needed to be hidden away. What? I griped. Ambix glided into the room, and her soft wheels whirred as she gathered up my abandoned mask from the floor. She slid it into my hand before I snapped it back into place. Sorry, I was just wondering where the singing was coming from. Everyone had been exhausted from the lengthy marathon, so they had so they had crashed immediately when we returned to base. I thought I would be left alone while they recharged. I had forgotten about Chambix. She didn't accompany us. Everyone was still pissed about her joining, so I lightened the mood by temporarily banning her from list duty. We like to we like to kill with who we are familiar with and with the strength of a Sabaton. Sabaton?
Sabaton. Far away from their land as they made their stand, a disregarded demand. Surrender or die, and the stakes are high. They live or they die, there's no time for goodbye.
Hey, that's actually a pretty good little lyrical bit they got.
Yeah.
I know I sang it. I made it good.
Go for it, Kyle.
I didn't say anything in return to Chambex, and I glared over my massive shoulder at her. I knew she was up to something. Why would someone so timid want to join the most feared and despised assassination group in the galaxy? Chambex rolled in front of me, and she stared quietly up into my eyes, which burned and glowed like fresh magma. Something strange was being processed in her mind, and she placed a gentle hand upon my chest. I immediately seized her arm. The touch was unexpected. A new expression passed over Chambex's azure face, and her optics widened to become like full moons. Damus, she whispered. Oh shit, I can't read. I played stupid. Sorry, ow. Just a second.
Damus, I echoed. It's you. I know it's you. Who the hell is Damus? Who the f*** is Damus? I think I might have mistimed my beat. Who the f*** is Damus? Who the hell is Tarn? You are Damus. I have seen it in the way you move and the way you act. I don't know how you ended up with this mess. She gestured flamboyantly to my modern body. My modern body?
Nice.
But you are Damus, or at least you used to be. And what is so special about this Damus? Damus was my friend. A good friend. Friends with benefits. I made that bit up. Then why did you take my virginity and throw me out? A violent rush. I'm getting juicy. A violent rush of feverish embarrassment flowed over my face. And not just feverish embarrassment flowed over my face, and I could sense my optics enlarging with horror. I feel like I am split within myself sometimes. I feel like I am split within myself sometimes. I love to be vicious, but I also have a fondness for affection and giving and protecting. And now I desire to claim my secrets, but I also want Chambex to know who I am. The last side of me took over. The latter side of me took over.
Damus, oh Primus, what happened to you? Chambex's trembling fingers extended toward my shielded face, and she bit her lip as lubricant popped up in her eyes. What? Oh, tears. I'm stupid. Why does she care for someone she used? I hastily pulled backwards, and my spark thumped. Is that? Oh yeah, thumped in its casing. Let me try that again. I hastily pulled backwards, and my spark thumped in its casing. I don't have feelings for you, Chambex. All of my vibrant emotions started a riot in my head. I was swamped with fury. I wanted to yell. I wanted to shriek my head off, but I also wanted to pin her beneath me and give her wet, rapid kisses, praising her for her return to my soul. A vibration rumbled in my chest, and my pent-up sadness and betrayal burst past my teeth. You took advantage of me. Advantage? You wanted it. I know you did. It's not the sparking. It's how you kicked me out afterwards. I adored you. And I regretted it. I've been tracking you for so long now, Damus. I heard about how you become this Tarn. I paid some bounty hunters to find the information for me. I came to make amends. Did she pay Lockdown? Is Lockdown bounty hunter out there? DEFCON, maybe? Anyway. Then say your apologies and leave. Get the fuck out of here. Fine. I'm sorry I sparked with you and didn't see how wonderful of a person you were. Maybe if I kept you with me, you wouldn't have turned into a damn psychopath. An asshole now. Tarn. End chapter 4.
Chapter 5. Unruly.
And that leads up to the fateful moment when I spontaneously kissed Chambex in the underground bar. Tesserus, being the big fellow that he is... Is my voice working? No, it's not! Fuck!
Oh, it's even better.
I thought you were doing Kermit.
Yeah, keep with it. Keep with it.
Keep doing Kermit.
Very well. Tesserus, being the big fellow that he is, sapped most of our energon reserves to recharge himself, so we had no option but to seek out a pub. I was probably just insane from exhaustion, and that's why that kiss seemed like such a wonderful idea. Most of the drunkards that were settled about in the establishment scampered away as they witnessed the infamous DJD enter. But the bartender remained collected as he served us. He didn't care that we were cold-blooded killers. He just wanted our money.
That sounds like Swerve.
Chambex was still furious with me, and something about that hatred and the bar lights and the thrill of Energon just made me plant my lips on hers. I kept my mask on, so I had to open my mouth a little bit more so my lips could reach her. And that smooch, ooh, it did change me. My stomach churned, so it did, and my shoulders, they slouched. My spark grew a little brighter. Thicker and longer, probably. The affection threw me back into the past, when all I desired was acceptance. With my men... Ooh, are we taking a turn? With my men, I am accepted in the form of respect. I am respected in the form of respect. Sorry, I am accepted in the form of respect. They respect me because I am dangerous, and I am brutal. But because they adore my personality, or what I have accomplished, and what I have accomplished, they just knew that stepping out of line with me, I would beat them down.
Now, what Chambix said about that mission the Allspark granted her is quite weird. Primus told her to kill me? After I gulped down the last drops of my illuminated drink. Yeah, definitely in Swerves. I step outside into the hazy storm. The saloon is in the upper levels of a tower, though Chambix is standing on a balcony overlooking the alien city. She doesn't turn her elegant head when I step up. She doesn't turn her elegant head when I slide up beside her.
The Allspark told you to kill me? I ask. Chambex does not reply, so I gingerly slip my hand over hers. She yanks her slender arm back. The hell is wrong with you? She snaps. I need to know. Yes, the Allspark made me to neutralize you. That is what Primus said. I didn't know who Tarn was, and I have been searching for him ever since I came to be. It wasn't until recently I started to hear his name on the streets, and people from both sides of the war are terrified of him. And the bounty hunters you hired found out it was me? Yes, that Damus had become Tarn. What happened?
I leaned against the balcony's guardrail and shut my eyes as a horrendous memory sparkles down my dark eyelids. Torture, corruption, how I became so unruly. Megatron used me. A lot happened, Chambix. Desire takes me over again, and I unclip me mask from me hard face. Chambex curiously observes as I reveal my new identity and a smirk at her. And this time, Chambex moves with me. I pick her up and dart down a long, shadowy alleyway before falling to the ground. I squirm about as Chambex drapes herself across me chest, and a wonderful sensation of glory and warmth swarms me chilled limbs. I hear a strange whispering sound, and an unusual agony slips across me sides. I assume I just sparked. You've all been there. And it was painful, yet, because I was transferred to my new body. A sharp feeling increases as Chambex jerks her arm, and I glance down at what had occurred. A holy son of a bitch. She stabbed me. She fucking stabbed me. Chapter 6.
She cannot
Spilling.
the strain.
Chapter 6, Spilling Me Good Old Guts.
I think most. I can't. I'm all lost. I think most people usually see their life flash before them before they die, but I've discovered that I typically have an extra therapeutic session with myself. I go all over my faults and console myself with that's the wrong spelling of that word, about my insecurities and how I could have done better. It's a good cleanse, especially if I'm going to live. Cambix stabbed me kind of weird, so it's really difficult to sit up or even holler for help. So all I can do is lie here and stare at the dark sky above. Rainwater patters against my swollen face. I cried a little bit. Lubricant filled my eyes. Lubricant filled my optics. Cybertronians think I am tough as nails, but at the end of the day, I am as sensitive as a child. But I think most people would cry if they were dying. Saying goodbye to everything you know. I know Chambix ruined my T-Cog, so I'm going to need an operation if someone finally finds me before I bleed out. She has already left me. Her knives moth back into her hands before she zipped away into the night.
The world starts to tremble as my spark separates from my body, and I throw myself back into my memories. Back to when I was Damus, and I was confused and startled by my own power to move objects. It's difficult being different from those who surround you, but I learned how to accept my unusual gift. Now that I've used that ability to frighten, I can command death only with my tongue. And with what I do to cleanse the Decepticon ranks, that is very helpful. But sometimes, I wonder if that could be considered abuse of my power. Primus gave me something special, and now I just use it to murder instead of save or create.
You're gonna need a singer.
Yeah.
Hearts will dream, lungs will breathe in, wash away the sin. It's where it begins. Songs by Aurora typically come to me when I'm in emotionally agonizing situations. I flinch as something slender and hard strokes my foot, and I grunt as I lift my foggy head. Aeon is tapping the soggy ground, and he starts to feel my limbs more rapidly in his blindness. He's over here, he cries. A blurry, growling X floats into view as Tesserus ambles over, and he gracefully swoops me up into his protective arms. I whimper with agony as my spine turns the wrong way, and I sense Voss and Helix enter the alleyway and stare at what has become of me. What happened? Helix whispers as he watches a stream of my energon dribble to the ground. Just a dribble, huh? Oh well, sometimes, you know. Chainbex, stab! I grumble.
Vox's crackly voice fills the air as he suggests something, and I nod my head. He knows of a medical center nearby. I can always leave it up to Voss to scout the area. And thank Primus I found someone to save my tailpipe. The colony we had discovered is pretty much abandoned, so I'm unsure of the quality of the care I'm about to receive. Yeah, it's pretty shitty service. The only medic there is a kid. Right? I think that worked. The only medic there is a kid, like a literal child. I'm not joking. It's just this massive dude staring at this puny youngman. I was the only patient he had in weeks, so he was pretty damned excited to work on me. It's weird. The doctor is out right now, he says, as he leads us to the main operation room with a little spring in his step. She will be back soon. Sorry, kid, but did you know what you were doing? I grab as I press my hand into my spurting side. Oh yeah, totally. The doctor has taught me everything she knows. I have a license. He points to a framed, tattered certificate hanging on the dirty wall. Helix looks to me and concerned isn't present in his optics. Sir, are you sure? He's the best we got, guys, I reply. The kid leads us to the surgical quarters and sets me down on a creaking bed. My comrades stand about and cautiously as the child doctor preps his tools and pulls up my crooked stool. That's what she said?
STOOL, everyone.
He checks out my wounds and gentle fingers. Oh shit. He checks out my wounds with gentle fingers. Okay, Kyle. What is wrong with this?
Did you get stabbed? Yeah. It went all the way through. I'm gonna clip your energon tubing before I turn you over. I am going to solder you back to front. He goes to work placing small metallic clamps on the severed rubber veins before letting me turn over onto my stomach. I groan with misery as Tesserus aids me, and the stench of burning fills the air as the kid patches me up. I've been through surgery before without anesthesia, and it is usually pretty horrendous. This time, though, it wasn't unbearable. Yeah, it hurt like a bitch, but it didn't make me pass out, and my sides are pretty sensitive. I follow his command to return to laying on my back, and he fixes up my tubing. You're pretty good, you know, I say. You're gentle. That's what she said. Thanks. The doctor taught me how not to hit too many nerves.
Soon, I am as brand new as I could be, and I sit up on the table, my legs hanging over the side. I am about to ask him about my cog, but a combler in the hallway. A com blares in the hallway. He rushes out to answer it. As we listen to the hushed conversation, we stare at each other in the silence. Boss approaches the table and strokes my scars, fascinated by the boy's work. His touching starts to disturb me. So I push him away. He has a strange obsession with my injury. Ezerus starts to grow, impatient as he leaves to figure out what had become of the child. He returns with haste. Y'all know what to do. What's wrong? Helix inquires. I don't want what the hell was said on the comm. I don't know what the hell was said on the comm, but the kid's a mess.
I gingerly put weight on my legs and amble out to the off-white hallway, and the painfully bright light bears down on me. My crew scurries faithfully after me, and I discover the child quietly sobbing against the wall. The comm is on the floor. C-O-M. The comm is on the floor. I slowly lower myself to my knees and place the comm back on its holder before turning the kid around. I suck in a breath as he tightly embraces me and bawls against my chest. B-A-W-L-S. Bawls against my chest. Kid, what's your name? Bailey, he sputters. Bailey, what's going on? The doctor, she's dead. The ship crashed. I rotate my head towards my team, but my only Kaon is paying attention, or at least he looks like he is. Listening is the only thing he can do now. Terrasus is staring at the ceiling like... Tesserus, is staring at the ceiling like a f***ing idiot, and Boss is spaced out. Helix is gogging Goggling at Kaon's empty, sunken eye sockets. It has always been something that mystified him. Eyes. Kid doesn't have a home now. They all snap back to reality. The hell are we supposed to do about it? Kaon grumbles. Meili saved my life. We deserve to pay him back. I picked Meili up and grunt slightly as I stand. I say he travels with us, becomes the crew medic. Meili wipes away his tear. Crew medic? Yeah, we need one. Voss garbles something, and Helix nods his head. Head on his shoulders. Voss is right. Kid doesn't know who we are. Oh, I do, Meili says. You're all the DJD. But the doctor said health is a right to all Decepticons or Autobots. I will be your medic. Chapter 6 ends.
Is that gonna be Nickel? Nickel's a girl though. This is a little boy.
Chapter 7. Robin Hood.
Mally slowly enters the peaceful tyranny and warily gazes around at the unusual sights. I am carrying his bag of personal effects, and I set it down on a dusty, damaged table in the hallway. The luggage is filled with strange tools and toys. Ooh, nice. Kaon shuffles erratically up behind me, and his hands slither against my arm as he feels around blindly, searching for the pathway to his personal quarters. Us, Helix says as he meanders up behind me. When are you going to give him my coil? When are you going to give him his coils back? When I think he has learned to stand down. Besides, he can use his little animal to guide him. He's tried, but the Turbo Fox is better for killing instead of carrying. I nibble on my lip as my conscience springs into action, but my existing decision still seems superior. This isn't the first time he has blatantly disrespected me, but this is the first time I have taken extensive action. His tongue hasn't been as sharp, and he seems to think about his ranking. He is my second in command, but he does pose issues. I guess Megatron and I aren't too unalike.
Ooh, that was hard to read at Starscream.
Very well done.
Thank you.
I give Meili a brief and heartless tour of the ship before setting him up in an abandoned guest room. He is still pretty shaken up by the news of his guardian, but I think most of his sorrow is from that the doctor was his only parental figure. That doctor was his only hope of survival, and he felt lost to the void without her. I don't think he is lucky. Okay, that's fucked up. I don't think he is lucky he has us, but I also know that he won't be doomed. I am no father, but I believe I can try to be the best I can be. And that is why I set out to rob every store in sight. Oh, I love the shopkeeper shrieks as I riot through the doorway, guns ablaze, as I snatch up anything that could be of interest to a child. Yay! Reminds me of that fellow the humans call Robin Hood. I have met Knockout before, and that bastard is full of weird human knowledge. But I found the tale of Robin he told to be quite captivating, and boy did I feel like him now. Except the people I was stealing from are shit poor, but my child is poorer of heart. He needs something to fill his loss.
Melee looks at a pile of treasure I bought before him, and the stars outside slowly slip past as we glide through the empty space. I feel like a peasant sacrificing its most prized harvest to a despicable god, and I cock my head this way and that as it awaits its cause of approval. My eyes sparkle with satisfaction, and Melee ambles forward to remove a polished copper doll from the bounty. Good choice. That one is my favorite too. He turns it over in his small hand, eyeballing the extensive detail the artisan had put into the precious toy. He places it back into the clutter and begins to dig through whatever I happened to scoop up during my rampage. Where did you get all this? Melee mutters, as he fumbles with some odd doohickey. The store's back on the colony. Did you pay for it? Did I pay for it? I mock boorishly. Hell no. This shit was expensive. Just because something's expensive doesn't mean you're allowed to steal it.
I'm perturbed. I just provided probably more toys and gifts than he has ever seen in his lifetime, and now I'm getting schooled about thievery. I personally don't see anything wrong with the taking. If you're stronger than the owner of an item that you want, you can just take it. Survival of the fittest, you know? I cross my arms and glare at the boy before me, and he pounds his foot against the floor in return. I would never hit a child, so this is a verbal standoff. I don't want any of this, he gripes, but I worked for it. You made none of it, but I made the effort to provide for you. Miley's anger dissolves away, and he seems to have noticed something about me. Provide? Yes, I bring you toys because you are sad. Mally, see morality in there. There's morals in these stories. Mally Moises, wait, what? Mally moseys up to me and wraps his fragile arms around my robust waist, and he sets his delicate head upon my stomach. Thank you. You're welcome. So, you want it now? No, I think we should just return it, but you tried to give, in a weird way, but it still shows you care.
Helix and the rest of the gang slips into the room as I pick Mally up, and I notice strange, dark stains crisscrossing upon Kaon's face. It is a rare sight, but it is the aftermath of a session of bawling. He doesn't claim the usual tear ducts, so his empty eye sockets just pour oil when he cries. There is some condensation forming around Tesserus's grinder. When he is pissed beyond belief, he will spin his blades aggressively, and the friction causes him to heat up to the point he condenses water vapor in the air. Yes, I say. We think Chambex stole my coils, Kaon snarls. We looked for them, and they aren't in the cabinet you put them in, Tesserus says, the words hissing from his mouth. We need to go back to the colony and find her.
When could you... Sorry.
That's all
Go
right.
ahead, Kyle.
You're all good.
Okay, thank you. Then I shall begin. Where are we? Re-ups for them, and onto the cabinets you put them in. Have you done this, Bets? I'll do it again. Tesserus. Okay. When could she have taken them? She didn't carry them out when we went to the pub, and she didn't have them when she attacked me. I placed Mally back on the ground, back onto the ground. So you're saying it's one of us, Helix snapped. I'm just saying, what's the point of taking them? They are no use without Kaon. They are an unusual bodily structure, Tom. Kaon replies. They can sell for unbelievable amounts of money on the black market, especially since they belong to a DJ demon. The Autobots would be more happy to use them for ransom. We need to go back to the colony anyways, to return the Orbis, Melee chimes in. And the intrinsic doll is gripped in its fist. Intricate jaw doll is gripped in his fist. He gazes thoughtfully up at me, but I just want to keep this one. Sorry, my eyes are beginning to get a little bit blurry. Chapter 7 ends.
End of chapter 7.
And, oh yeah.
Let's see. Let's see here. Chapter 8. Hot stuff.
I sloppily dump the stolen goods upon the sidewalk outside the strip of stores, and Mally watches from a couple meters away. The shattered pieces of windows still litter the ground, and he is fearful of slicing his feet. The robbed marketplaces are completely abandoned now, so I hope this pile of stuff finds its way home. I venture back over to my boy and take his hand in my own before we meet up with the rest of the Justice Division. Kaon is tightly gripping Voss's arm. He refused to wait on the ship, saying that he wanted to help find what was his. We tried to tell him he would slow our search, but he but he said he would feel useless if he just. This is hard to read. There's too many he's.
Yeah.
But
It's getting harder to read as well.
Yeah. But he said he would feel useless if he just stayed alone in his blindness. The coils are heavy, so she can't be moving too fast with them, Helix says as we stalk back toward the alley where I was brutally stabbed. She is speeding already. No, wait. She is speedy already, so she might be quite far away from this point. Esterius replies, and his bitterness is still present in his deep voice, which I did not use. And and she is pretty strong if she is able to almost kill Tarn, Kaon adds. She seduced me. I picked Mally up. That is why she was able to get close to hurt me. What did you see in her? Helix inquires, just curious. I think Helix has a crush on Tarn. She's intelligent and dangerous. She is unique physically as well. We do have a history together. Oh, from your slut phase? What? Kaon chirps and Voss croaks his throat, or croaks his own. What? Don't worry about it. I wave a hand at them. I wave a hand at them, commanding silence. Yes, Helix, we were in love. He's pissing me off, Tesserus fusses as he looks around the dark skyscrapers and overhangs, awaiting a lithe form to flash by. She could have taken my coils when we were at the medic's office. Kaon adjusts his grip on Voss. Oh, true. Helix's chest begins to glow with warmth and illumination, and the bulge allows us to see through the misty night better. What? I don't even understand. I don't even understand that sentence. The bulge? Do they mean the bulb? Maybe the bulb or something?
Yeah. They on about that bit?
Something. He cocks his head as a strange whirring sound emits from a darkened alleyway. We got cocks in an alleyway, folks. And he instinctively moves closer to Tesserus, the mightiest of us all.
The sound cuts off, and I look into the shadows, seeking the light from a pair of eyes. Anything that would tell me where Chambex was. The humming starts up again, and the echoing sound drifts around us. Chaos head is swiveling this way and that as he desperately seeks the source, and Voss inches closer to him. Hey, ha! Blares behind me, and Chambex shoots out of the darkness and hooks her spiny fingers around my mask. I yip in pain as the clamps, keeping it on brick, and she tears the covering away. I slap my hand across my naked face, trying to block myself from being seen. Mally shrieks in terror as I hunch down, and he smacks my fingers. She's hurting them, Tarn.
I slightly uncover my eyes and glance behind me. Chambex is quickly orbiting Voss, her wheels screeching as she spins around. Like me, she pries off Voss's mask, but his facial armor unfortunately houses his optics as well. Oh dear. She backflips away, and the hole in her stomach starts to form what appears to be a portal. She shoves the mask in, and they sparkle away from sight. Before she slithers back into the darkness, Kaon is screaming manically as he topples to the ground, his hands on his head. I understand his fear. He used to be practically unstoppable, and now he is dependent and defenseless. Voss's sense of up and down is gone, and he stares at the sky as he pets Kaon's head. Tesserus revs his grinder and a couple of times, challenging Chainbacks to return, and Helix checks up on me and Melee. Sir, are you all right? He removes Melee from my arms. I sit upon the wet ground and bring my knees to my chest. I bury my face into my legs. I hear Tesserus's loud footsteps come near, and he stares down at what I have been reduced to. I'm going to kill that bitch, he snarls before dashing away. I know what is about to occur, but I don't spew any warning. We just sit in the silence before a masculine shriek rips through the darkness, and Tesserus returns shouting and grunting with agony. I lift my eyes to see Energon spewing from where his grinder previously was. Helix becomes fearful as he strokes the smelter embedded in his chest. She's taking what we find special about our bodies. She's talking what we find special about our bodies, he whispers. She just sucked it out. Tesserus crawls and gone. Somebody else take over.
Okay. Let me do that.
She's taking what we find special about our bodies, he whispers. She just sucked it out. Tesserus causes his metal energon veins start to close around the gaping hole, and the stream of Cybertronian blood reduces to a trickle. She used that portal to tear it out of me. Helix becomes a sniveling mess, and he crouches next to me with Mally as he bawls in fear. Tan, do something! You do something! I spit as I hear Mally away from him. I spit as I tear Mally away from him and bury the boy against my heaving chest. You're the only one! You've got them. You just got a mask taken. You can still fight. Fine, Tesserus, take Mally. I hand the squirming child to the robust warrior, and Helix is briefly mystified by my battle-worn face. He smirks to himself before raising his arms in a guarded stance. What's so amusing, I say, as I bring my own fists up to protect my face? I don't understand why you would keep such a nice face like that hidden away.
Oh my god. Dude, is everybody hitting on Tarn?
I have my reasons.
Let me finish this one.
I have my reasons. The whirring sounds as I know Chambix is cocky from her previous 4 victories. She will rush us quickly with a lowered guard, but Helix is a little bit different than the rest of my men. You don't need to be close for him to wreak havoc. Soon enough, Chambix erupts out of a window above, and glass bits rain down on as her portal spreads open. What the? A shot of adrenaline lights up Helix's eyes, and his chest bursts with ungodly incandescence and heat, and we all release shrieks of agony, and Chambix falters as well. She stumbles to the ground and rockets back into the child, until the chilled night, screaming. Watching the violent scene puts another song in my head.
Man of 5, still alive through the raging blow, gone insane from the pain that they surely know. For whom the bell tolls, time marches on, for whom the bell tolls.
That was great. Spambot in the chat.
Spambot in the chat.
Spambot in the chat.
I was now talking.
We really made it. We made it big. We got the
Spambot. Yeah, free VR.
Spambot. Get them out for the lads.
City. They
we
can't
don't even know what a
grammar
vert
good.
girl is. We don't know what vert girl is.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
virtual? I think it's supposed to be virtual.
Probably.
But you spelled it wrong. You didn't even spell it all the way.
They can't even grammar right. Free Vert Girls chat in New City. I love
Free virtual girls chat in you city? What are you from, New York City?
Well, son of a
Son of a bitch. What's really worrying me is we are about halfway through this.
I know.
Is there going to be a part 2, or are we powering on?
I
Ooh,
mean,
we could talk like Blur the whole time.
if y'all want to call it here, that's perfectly fine with me.
Maybe we should get to the end of the chapter.
Yeah, just that last paragraph.
Hanger alert.
Helix releases a masculine shriek of victory as the snubber cools, and he casts a proud glance at me. Which I have.
Hey, Mark.
Oh. I just turned up the volume too. I deserve that.
Please continue, Kyle.
His smile dwindles as he and I notice that my entire left side is partially deformed from his extreme heat. I can still function, but I look like melted ice. Oh, darn, I'm so sorry, Helix mutters as he takes my arm into his careful hands. I follow the Ward Payton alloy tables. No, you did good. I turn around and Kaon's face is semi-misshapen. Boss's chest took some of the heat, and so Chester's features have become gnarled, especially his unusually shaped optics. The corners of the X are melted and dripping. Now he is safe. Chester's has turned him away and used his body as a shield. Can we get out of here? Helix asks as he knees his trembling hands. Yes, back to the peaceful tyranny, everyone. I gather up my comrades and Voss and Kaon, each take one of my hands as I lead them into the heart of the city. I know we have lost some of our dignity today, but I know someone who can help us. Okay, that's so great.
Da da da. To be continued.
To be cringed and continued.
Oh yeah.
That was interesting. That's an interesting fan fiction.
Well, they're not right, though. It's like the best worst fan fiction.
I'm still not sure what's going on.
I don't know. There's apparently some female that Tower knows, and she's also out to murder everybody. He's just like, suck. I want to get laid.
But it was Tarn that was like, you took my virginity away and then kicked me out, right? I mean, that was Chambix is who did that to Tarn. That's what I understood.
Yeah, Tarn said that also. Just does that. It's
Kyle, that is the best voice. It's brilliant. This is the best part of the stream, the end bit.
Absolutely.
We should possibly credit the author again one more time. So what?
That's a good question. Oh, very close.
You have been listening to The Killing Song, a DJD Transformers action romance fan fiction by... I guess they were too embarrassed to put their name on it.
Oh, I think it's Off to the River.
Yeah.
Oh, is that their artistic name?
Yes, you can also check out some of their other works, including The Silent White, a Megatron and Starscream fan fiction.
Oh dear. Maybe next year.
Oh, there's some really good ones in here.
So this looks like it was published March 6th, 2021, and was completed on April 17th, 2021.
So this is still relatively new.
There's 14 chapters, and we ended
We
chapter
got
8.
Yeah.
Wonder if the author will, will find out about this. I'm not sure we've done it justice, to be honest with you.
It says it's got 3 kudos and 487 hits, so I guess we just added on at least 3 more from us.
Yeah. I would say, obviously this means I'm going to take this up as a project, so I should confirm.
Say more things. So tell me, Kyle, do you have a new video out on your channel? Tell us about it. What's it called?
I have a new video that just came out yesterday. It is called Transformers Afterlife, featuring the wonderful voice talents of Ultra Marcus and the shitty voice talents of myself and my brother, Slaughter Obo. Based in the Life of Prime universe, which apparently really blew people's mind there. It wasn't just Transformers, it was based on I get a lot of comments from people asking, like, why is Optimus Prime an idiot?
That's great.
He's always been an idiot. Yeah, that's story.
Well, I think one of the things is Tarn is such a serious character. So to see him in kind of a comedic sense is kind of unusual. So I think when it was first advertised, people, even though Ghostbusters, right, it's comedy, right? I think they thought it was part of like Legacy or something, but and then having a Legacy Tarn figure coming out soon doesn't make things better.
Well, when you said that I was there to playing Tarn, I'd never seen anything with Tarn, so I thought I'd do my research. There is nothing here with Tarn. There's no media, is there?
Nothing canon. We're reading probably the most canon fan fiction.
I agree. I mean, it's really the biggest layout of the channel.
I will say, so to help other people, if anybody else is gonna write fan fiction and stuff like that, they're just kind of throwing a lot of the names of the DJD, so they kind of assume that you know who everybody is walking into it. And I always think that's not a good, that's a kind of a fallacy, because you do want to still give descriptions of your characters. Because especially with the DJD, I don't really know all of their names. Like, I know Tarn, I know one of them is an electric chair, which I'm guessing is Kaon.
Yeah, I was about to say fire. Shows on so many transforms into an electric chair.
Yeah,
those like silver coils they were talking about ripping off everything these right here.
Yeah. And then what, Voss? Voss is the sniper rifle, right?
Yeah, he's the sniper rifle.
Yeah. And then Helix, or Tesserus, I forget which one is blue, but one of them is like a one of those Splenda tree munchers.
There's the Tesserus, right? He got the big guy.
Yeah,
right there. And apparently got ripped out. I'd love to know how you get that
doesn't make any
picture.
sense at all.
Exactly. And then Helix is the big blue one with the four arms.
Yeah, and he's kind of like a tank, but I don't really know quite what he is.
He like the only character I knew was Tarn himself. I kept waiting for somebody nice, and they didn't have it.
I recognize no characters in that thing. Who are these people?
Where the hell is Optimus Prime? Oh, they mentioned Megatron.
Exactly.
That Shiflock voice is awesome.
Yeah, it is.
Sorry.
I don't think we could get any more nerdier than we are right now.
Yeah.
Well, I think we were aiming for the worst stream ever. And I think we did it.
Hey, I advertised it a little bit in Discord, so we'll see. And our Instagram, people followed it from Instagram, but
Oh shit! Yes, I advertised this on Instagram. Fuck! I got to delete my post.
just
Don't
remember,
delete it.
stories are temporary, Marcus. Stories are temporary.
No, I did a prop up a post.
Oh yeah.
I need to apologize to my Instagram.
Yeah, we made stories. We don't know what you were thinking about making a post. That's on
Sorry, Graham. I fucked up.
god, that was funny.
19
We only have
likes.
three. We only have three.
You have to
watching.
kill 19 people. Sorry, Crimson, go on.
No, I was saying we only have 3 people watching right now.
We got two.
Mission accomplished.
But what if we wake up tomorrow and this thing's got 400 views? What do we do?
I hope I wake
Mission
up tomorrow and find that it's got like a fuck ton of views, because then that means it went viral.
Then we'll have to keep making more. It's a vicious cycle.
I would enjoy
So,
that.
Rex,
Oh yeah, what's up, Rex?
Rex, are you there? You're live on All Hail Megatron 1K.
We are live! Oh man, actually.
Get rid of that.
Want to be in the mood
For having a style.
Oh no, thank you for being a part. I apologize
It was a
because
pleasure.
now this may reflect in your subscriber counts being part of this cancerous program.
It was a pleasure to be here. If I wasn't here, I would just be doing mathematical equations and solving the mysteries of the universe. I'm glad I came.
Fuck yeah.
I know that one. Stephen Hawking.
Is correct. Billions of years, mankind lived like the animals. Then something happened which unleashed the power of our imagination. We learned to talk. That was a trailer in the UK. That was an advert for British Telecom. And then Pink Floyd stole it for an album. Very
It's funny
niche
that,
reference.
Yeah, it's funny that he says, like the Earth happens, right? But we don't care about that. Let's look at space.
We don't fucking care.
My darlings, thank you so much for coming.
Yeah.
Oh, like Tan. Tan came too.
CAME. Maybe.
Oh,
that scream. I hear
What?
screaming in the background. Is someone's neighbors upset?
I don't know, but Rex just went mute.
Might be him.
Well, he cares about his reputation and his sub count, so he's muted himself.
Yeah, that's probably the safe bet.
Is the I like the little ghost in the background. That's pretty cool.
Oh, the little ghosts. Yeah, I just got that background from Production Crate. It's just some, where's the... Yeah, there you go, you can see little ghosts.
Should we mention where people could get that Follow Cybertron Path Blaster that wasn't featured in this fan fiction yet?
Oh! I do love a big dog for Chad.
What was that? It sounded like glass cracking.
yeah.
That is hammering.
I have flipped my baseball cap around so you know I'm cool. Pardon me. Even geniuses burp.
Get in the hat.
Why don't you tell the boys and girls Kyle, why don't you tell the boys and girls what's coming up on your channel?
What's coming up on my channel right now? There's a
You
whole
closing
lot
it
of
down.
nothing. I don't have much going on. Adobe deleted everything I had.
Please don't shut down your channel. It's the only place people can find me. I don't do things on my channel anymore.
That is a shame, but what you can find if you're looking for anything of mine, there's Big Dog Forge, link in the description below. An Etsy-based 3D printing shop that place all kinds of various toy-related things, including but not limited to transformers upgrade kits. Like the
I'm a
Pathfinder.
satisfied customer. I've made 2 purchases.
Crimson is an unsatisfied customer. Now, what are you all doing?
I plug my channel for a second.
Yeah. Plug it, Marcus.
In a few weeks' time, you can see AHM1K on my channel playing the lead role in a new stop motion in which he plays a custom seeker. So watch out for that. Oh, it's called Decepticon Recruits. And it's about joining the Decepticons.
If you like hearing my sultry voice, I get a nice monologue.
It's full of alt-right dog whistles, but by the time you get to the 4th episode, you will learn that propaganda is bad. But from the 1st episode, it might look like I've lost my mind, but you have to stick with it. Coming soon. What's that noise?
It's Kyle's. I think it's the voice mod or something's doing.
It's no, someone's hammering. Cause hey, we're so.
Oh, damn! They're pretty. Pretty.
And voice
are they
mod's picking it
hammering
up.
like Chambit?
Hank.
Oh no! If it isn't building a whole bunch of stuff and putting pictures up on the wall selling. I'm pretty sure he just like.
Can Hank hear me? Hello, Hank.
I can go get him. It's 5:30. He should be a public real quick in the middle of the stream. Oh.
I think he's the only thing that can save this stream, to be honest with you.
I mean, yeah, I pretty much killed my subscriber base, so why not?
Just that one little voice clip with that deep voice is hysterical.
I'm back. Well, what happened?
Nothing and everything.
And we're getting hammered.
Kyle's neighbor is putting up some pictures on the wall.
Titan.
Hey,
Titan.
you not either.
Hello,
Here.
Hank.
Hank, why don't you get in my chair? Why, Hank, stop up. Stop up.
It's so weird because it's not Kyle's actual, like it's not his real voice.
Oh,
Oh, cute little doggo.
there he is.
It's a puppy.
Since he can't
You can't smell my hair panicking, had it taking harder.
Hello, Hank.
There he is.
Hank is like, I'm not a space dog.
Hank, pay back Laserbeak's findings.
Yes. Oh, you can do a big yarn.
It's like
with a big
trying
yarn.
to get into the webcam. Come here, Hank. Hank. I'm attempting to communicate.
Look at that. There. Follow.
Maybe you should crop the stream so that we just get the post.
And if your hands feel that stiff, what are you trying to do? Hey. Where are you?
The Hank shoulder.
There we go. How the Roma doing? Okay.
Which one? Which one?
Oh, slide life okay, I'm hard to go. Something's wrong.
Identify yourself.
There we go.
Oh, it's Rex. Okay.
What's up, Rex? To jump you.
Thank you. You missed out. We were reading a fanfiction. You probably would have died listening to it.
I'm filled with
Such a pretty dog.
There's so many things going on.
Look at those lovely gums.
He looked at you like, what are you doing?
There are some yellow.
Come to me, pretty doggo. Come to me.
Yeah. That's alright. They keep like, trying to lift up a house, like he thinks he's trying to crawl up on the bed. Video.
Why are you so adorable?
Well, I'm feeling basically 70 pounds just trying to climb all over.
Hank is going to be
the true star of the channel.
So yeah, I just need to switch out to a little bit of you. Where you going? Oh, we're just sitting now. Okay. Just hanging out. I guess this is cool. Hank. Hank? I can't bet a chair of Hank. Do you not jump off?
How he's like a doggy cannon.
Oh, yeah, see, I keep that hair low, because if he jumps off, then there's some odd reason he decides that he doesn't, he doesn't stick the landing over. So it just keeps still all over. Like, we give out your fault. Oh, okay. Probably mature.
Hey. So which one, Kyle? Raise your right hand.
Yeah. Oh, say.
She's going crazy.
Okay.
Like a baby.
It's a baby Hank.
Tickle my belly, you bitch.
Wait, you gotta add the beat.
I present my belly. Tickle it, you bitch.
He likes the circle belly rubs. So he was go.
Do not resist.
You sure? That's what you have.
Hey. Cute little Hanky.
He's adorable.
Oh, we can see some robots in the room.
Yeah, I mean, I never been shy about it. I was reshooting Legacy before WWE stuff. I was reshooting a bunch of it, so basically all that's right there was kind of what I was doing before I started this.
Oh, video's freaking out.
I do that, don't switch. Oh, my camera broke. How delightful.
Rip.
So Kyle, raise your left hand, because it's flipped on the YouTube. That's your left hand. Yeah, that's weird. So.
Am I flipped?
Or, yeah, I mean, kind of. It's just like reading murder, but actually the R's are spelled backwards, or written backwards.
Yeah. Because I think. Yeah, that's kind of weird.
What's up with the flip thing? It's like something happened there.
Ooh. Soundwave's got the energy.
Soundwave's got that.
Yum. Oops. He popped out.
Much like Tom does when he's near champions.
Mini
Neil.
boss.
Man, your camera is going nuts, Kyle.
Yeah, I figured it net so bad.
It's also echoing on us too.
Is it
Probably
really?
that microphone thing.
Oh, I don't have my beer. And let's go off the shit. Yes, I.
Bumble. Black Bumble. Bumble. Oh, Beetle. I called him Beetle. Why not?
We'll see what happens.
You
My
call him
favorite.
Scarab.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
Scarab is my first name, but I go by Beetle. There's some odd noises down my hallway.
Shit.
Hold on.
Ow. His voice moves through at least.
No, I don't know.
It is. Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's fucking great.
You.
I know. Me.
Oh, I did notice, Kyle, a cameo from Cosmos in Transformers Afterlife.
Yep.
I saw him.
Yep.
I saw him there.
Too.
Yeah,
And Override. She was looking good.
Yes, yes.
I don't remember where did I don't remember putting them anywhere in there.
Yeah, they were in the background. When Bumblebee was supposed to commit suicide behind Optimus Prime.
Oh yeah. No, yeah, that was funny. I got going over on that one. Because he doesn't really.
Eliminate them!
He never reads the scripts beforehand. Like, he would just kind of have the input on the script and then just never actually reads, like, all the details of it. So, a lot of times, like, if there's something in there randomly that I know will make a break, like, Optimus says, they just profound and stupid. Like, all Autobots will kill themselves under my direct orders. So I go to the crack part.
Energon or not to Energon.
The other way to make him break really is to do the one where Optimus trying to talk about some torture. The tortures always get him too, usually. God. That was the first time we brought up the torture chamber. I brought up one where, like, you count everything goes to the torture chamber and boil himself alive. Or something like that, and he just said it so casually, then he just started dying because it was too much for him.
They go little and large.
Double the flavor.
Oh, I can do that for prawn as well.
Thank God, sorry, they have the 15 S's cool. Oh! Ah, man, I feel bad. I forgot about those actually. I've been a little busy lately. We forgot about that. Sorry, Ruben. I will, thank you for reminding me, actually. I'll get back to working on those. I did. There's that want to change a little bit lately. I completely forgot about that. My bad.
Megatron!
What's the 15s coming along? What's that?
Ruben messaged me about conveying a Star Wars logo to a traceless weapon. I sent him a prelim, like an early like a rendition of it, and just said that he like make the barrel longer. And then the next day I started redesigning my whole space in here. I just started, I took all my furniture, tossed it outside, and just started rearranging everything. And then got busy with other work stuff, and now I completely forgot about that until now. Like a responsible person.
What's that?
A responsible person?
I don't know what that's like.
Yeah, I can't say I'm responsible.
You can definitely get these guns on Big Dodge Ford. Yeah, that's
That's where you get these trucks.
Big Dodge Ford. What the hell? You can get these guns on Big Dodge. Damn it!
You can get these nice Ram 1500s on Big Dodge Ford.
You can get these guns on Big Dog Forge. They're Sideswipe's gun, but really any Autobot can have them.
Oh god, I'm done.
Oh, actually, my camera's not working now. Oh, that sucks.
We'll do it live. We'll do it live.
I was gonna show the brand new thing I've been working on. I was gonna show the Dark Spark, but my camera's not working now. Son of a bitch. Oh, wait, maybe.
Also get this Bumblebee blaster. And fuck Bumblebee up. With his own gun. Out of focus.
Let's use this gun and
Are
fuck
you
Bumblebee
talking
shit.
about me?
Wait, hold on. Okay, now do the Bumblebee voice.
Are you talking about me? Oh, there you are. There's your Bumble. Who plays Bumblebee for
Okay.
you? Oh.
Oh no,
For me?
I knocked over Wheelpack.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Like in the Life of
you.
Crime one? That's me.
Yeah. That's you, is it?
That's me. It hurts my voice because I don't know why. It's like, it's so high-pitched and annoying. I get to sit there and talk like this, and it really fucking pisses me off. I hate Bumblebee so much, that's why it was fitting. I made Connor do Optimus Prime, and he absolutely can't stand Optimus Prime.
10 points to the Matrix. Oh, uh-oh.
I need to find a box. There we go.
Anyway, anyone have any profound statements to make before I just randomly switch the stream into the outro?
Subscribe.
Yes, here's an aerial bot with Megatron.
Subscribe to Rex Films.
There's fillers for Cosmos, and you can mount his arm checkpoint cannon on his arm. And here's RC Studio Series Headless for no reason at all. Is Halloween? Yeah, there we go. Halloween.
I'm irresponsible with my money.
Oh, aren't we all?
It's because we're in our. Is it because we're in our slutting phase?
Oh god.